I've got the lovely Ross here because you've been very quiet and patient sitting there in the background, Ross. So thank you. I'm going to get you to chat to me a little bit, Ross, about the opportunities for instructors and other training providers. But first of all, tell us a bit about yourself, what you do, and why, you're a champion. Why become a FinWELL champion?
I am indeed a champion, even though my son doesn't think so. So my name's Ross, and I'm the head of health and wellbeing for a consultancy and training organisation called Green Cross Global. So I look after all our consultancy, our training, our strategy for our clients to do with mental health, wellbeing, and inclusion. And for me, we've been linked for a while now. And first of all, absolutely amazing to see the journey that the organisation has been on. For me, this is vitally important, and I want to pick up on something that Alice said. Because it can sometimes, when you're bringing things like this to the market, an organisation can sit there and think, "Well, are you just trying to shoehorn this into it? Are you trying to put a bit of a link to mental health and to suicide?" And unfortunately, the data doesn't lie. And in my role, I love looking at data. So the money in mental health, over 1.5 million people experiencing problem debt and mental health problems at the moment in the UK. 40% with mental health problems say their financial situation worsens. And when we look at all the reports that have come out, as you said earlier, there was the stress and burnout report that came out in March. Right at the top of that is about the financial situation that we're in. And as you said, I can't see it getting better. I had a phone call with my parents last night, who are in that bracket where they earn in pensions just enough to get them over the threshold that they're going to lose their winter fuel, and they're concerned. And so this is then going to pan onto the working force as well. For those of us that are parents, have got parents or carers for them, this is going to start to impact us. So this is, as you said, it's going to impact our sleep. It's going to impact, our eating, our social life, and therefore it is going to really start to impact our work production. And Alice, pointed out that there's data that links this to suicidal thoughts. The University of Manchester did a great report last year, and it said that 57% of men who take their own lives are experiencing economic problems at the point when they die. 57%. So this isn't something that's on a whim or something that is a nice to have. We're seeing this correlation between a decline in someone's well-being directly linked to a subject which has got the same taboo for me and the same stigma and discrimination as someone talking about self-harm, eating disorder, or talking about suicide. So for me, vitally important. And so it was great to get the opportunity to, I think, being one of the very first cohorts to go through this. I'm a firm believer of what I want to put in front of my clients. I want to experience them myself, so I know what we're talking about. And yeah, I'll admit that through my life, I've struggled with my finances. I come from a background in the forces where everyone's kind of a payday millionaire because your food and your accommodation is paid. And when you get back into the real world, you suddenly got to deal with this all yourself. And it is hard. But I found it absolutely vitally important and something that we regularly talk with our clients about, because lots of clients are coming on board with, we know, okay, if your well-being's impacted, let's think about what we can do. Yeah, let's take a duvet day. We're really, we're considerate, we're understanding, we can put some reasonable adjustment in. But the problem is, if their narrative about mental health doesn't match someone's financial well-being, we've got a problem. Because actually, yeah, go and take a day, but we're finding that people can't afford to. If they start to add up points and then suddenly end up on statutory sick pay, we're at the point where people can't afford to be sick.
Yeah.
They can't. They've got bills. They're a lot of them, if they work in sales or whatever they're working in, overtime, commission, they're taking that as part of their normal wage, not as an add-on. And it's really, really worrying. So I think, sorry, I haven't said anything for half an hour and I've just stopped Honestly, the work that you're doing is vitally important, because this is a situation that isn't going away. And even if the economy does sort itself out, people are left with the historical debt that's going on for trying to survive.
Yeah, I just echo, everything you've just said there, Ross, because money weaves into all different areas of our lives, whether you're dealing with, elderly parents, or you're a carer, whether you've got kids, whether you've been made redundant and you're having to look for another job. And your point about, people are afraid of taking time out for their mental health for fear of losing pay or losing the overtime that they've become so reliant on. That's not going to improve someone's mental health, and equally it's not going to improve their financial well-being either. So this problem isn't just here because we're in a tricky economic period of time or in the middle of a cost of living crisis. This is hard reality. So this is why it's important, I think, for us to partner with other training providers like yourself, Ross, at Green Cross Global, so that not only can we train your people, but you can go on and train other people for your clients. And that's kind of that's what we're doing with you, Ross, and with Green Cross Global. But that's the point. If we're going to reach these people that desperately need our help, whatever area of life they're currently in, we're going to need to scale this up. And we're hugely proud. Thank you, Ross. We're hugely proud to have Ross and the Green Cross Global team on board, but we're also hugely proud to bring other instructors. So, this is, if you pull up on the next slide for me, Ryan, we've just signed off our first 7 instructors. We've got contingents now from Australia, from the USA, from Spain and Portugal. These are not unique challenges just here in the UK. They are global challenges, and everyone we speak to, we were chatting to somebody in Colombia the other day, different cultures, yes, and different rules and regulations in different countries, but the underlying issues are still the same, that people are struggling. So if you want to come on board and join our instructor team and get involved and help us to roll this out, we'd love to hear from you.